Okay, I had to make these videos like this because I'm unable to upload the videos to the unable to upload them to the YouTube channel. So I had to change the way the video is done on the live set. Um, you know, I'm starting to understand what my parents used to feel like when we was children, right? And they used to say, a hard head make a soft ass. All right, that's what they used to say. And we knew what that meant. Is that if you was hard-headed and you didn't do what you were supposed to do, then you was going to get your butt whooped. And so this is how we looking at our people right now, because the Bible classifies our people as a stiff-necked, rebellious people. And that's the way we're always getting our butts kicked, and we blame everybody else for kicking our butts, but ourselves. We fail to understand that the reason why I'm getting my butt kicked is because I have a hard head and I will not do what is instructed of me to do. And so I want to look at some scripture right now in light of this stuff, because I'm going to say like Paul said, even though we got to keep on going on saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, I'm going to say like he said, it is not grievous unto me that I got to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. For the Messiah learned obedience through the things that he suffered. And our people are going to learn to be obedient by the things that they suffered. And so we just got over trying to deal with some of our brothers and sisters in St. Louis about coming out of the streets, and now they marching in the malls. And you know what? But I'm telling you honest to God truth, the person that's marching in the mall today, he'll be the one in there next week buying a pair of Jordans. Because a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And so this is for the people that choose to move with wisdom and righteousness according to the scripture. This is for you. Because we going to have them people that's going to do what they want to do, but we still got to let the word go forth anyway, for the sake of those people, that when they start getting their butt kicked, they'll know why. And I know it's some of my brothers out there, oh, well, you coons, y'all just let these people do anything. Y'all just, well, you know what? You're a fool, because the people are not doing it. It's the Most High is the one that's doing it, because you are the rebellious one. You won't listen to nobody's instruction. You won't go by nothing that's contained in the scriptures. You want to do your own thing without wisdom, and then you want everybody else to follow you into folly and foolishness. And then when all hell breaks loose, you'll be the first one to run. So you can miss us with that. This is to these football players and everybody else. First verse of Deuteronomy 28th chapter say, it shall come to pass, if you will hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do his commandments, which he command you on this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if you will hearken to the voice of the Lord your God. See, right now, you want to hear to everybody else's voice. You know what I mean? Y'all hearing to the court system's voice that's declaring the wicked not guilty. You hearing the politician's voice, Donald Trump, calling what you say, black people, sons of bitches. You'll hear to the voice of the national anthem, and all of these things got you responding. But you will not respond to the voice of the Most High. And you wonder why you're getting your butt kicked. He said, because the only way that you're going to be blessed is if you hearken to his voice. And what is it about our people that we want to hear every little thing that somebody else say? Oh, we can hear Kim Jong-un's voice. And, you know, all of these different voices, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, you can hear all of these, Kaepernick, you can hear everybody's voice, but you can't hear the Father's voice. And see, the thing is that you respond to those voices when you hear them, but you won't respond to the words of the Most High. And we're going to see why you're getting your butt kicked. Let's go down to the 15th verse. But it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken to the voice of the Lord your God to do all his commandments and his statutes, which he command you on this day, all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. And cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. And the city and the field, the city was when they was cursed when they came into the city because they were sold on auction blocks. They was cursed in the field because the field is where they sent them to work. But in this modern day terminology, you're cursed in the city because the city represents the urban areas and the impoverished areas. But guess what? You're cursed in the field too because the field represents the suburbs. After you football players that made your money, you ain't in the city. You're not in the city. You're not in the urban areas where it's impoverished, where your money could really have some impact, where you could really be making a difference. No, you have fled to the field. You have fled to the suburbs. And see, one of the things that the Father said is that if you ain't hearkening to what he said, it don't make no difference where you go, whether it's in the city or whether it's in the suburbs. Because when you get your money, you run out there and you get your little white girl or you get your little white guy and you take your money, I got y'all's picket fist and all of that mess. He said, you still cursed out there. You still ain't gonna be no more than a nigga. And it's a sad thing because you have allowed yourself to be nursed in some type of vain ideology that now you have arrived and you're on the same playing field and that you have equal rights, but you are sadly mistaken. And you are not hearkening into the Father's voice, because if you were, then you would not be doing these things. Now, let me show you, we got some work out here. Verse 17 of the 3rd chapter of Ezekiel say, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words of my mouth and give them warning from me. The Father said, give them warning from me, because the wicked is detached from me and he can't hear. So son of man, I need you to be a watchman and I need you to give them warning for me. Okay? So the Father has a set of men out here that are hovering over every situation, that are seeing through the eyes of the Spirit, whether it be a righteous thing or a wicked thing, whether it be wisdom or whether it be foolishness. And the Father said, give them warning from me. And so here go your warning. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at thy hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turns not from his wicked ways, nor from the wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou have delivered thy soul. You see, it don't make no difference whether you accept what's being said or not. My job is to give you warning. When you operate in wickedness, the Father is saying, you don't understand is that like a sheep going to the slaughter, you are on your way to your own destruction because you are operating according to what you are hearing coming from other people. You're not operating in what you're hearing coming from the Most High. He's saying, so you know what? You're on the way to your destruction. And my job is to warn you. If you heed the scripture and if you heed the word, then guess what? Your life will be spared. And so no blood is required at my hands. But if you keep on going, oh, that nigga don't know what he talking about. Oh, I'm tired of these Bible thumpers, this, that. You know what? When the Lord slaughter you or you get killed from your foolishness, I don't feel nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't feel nothing. So, you brothers think that you can go through these things and make something happen for yourself. Let me show you something. If you want to make something happen, make it happen according to what the scriptures say. Deuteronomy 8th chapter, start with the 10th verse. When thou hast eaten and thou art full, then thou shalt bless the Lord thy God for the good land which he had given thee. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God in not keeping his commandment and his ordinances and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Lest when thou hast eaten, and thou art full, and thou hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and all thy flocks are multiplied, and thy silver and thy gold are multiplied, and all that thou have has been multiplied, then your heart will be lifted up. And this is what he's saying to a lot of our brothers out here that got money, because many of you come from the poverty. Many of you Jay-Z's and all of these brothers, Puff Daddy, all of them come, you football players, everybody comes from an impoverished part of the community. The majority of us come from that. And he said, listen, when I do these things for you, don't you be lifted up with pride and forget how they happen and turn from what I'm telling you to do. See, many of us, we don't have the same mindset that we had when we were striving to reach some accomplishments, when we were striving to become great athletes. Our mind had been changed because we've been incorporated into other ways of living. He say, and thou shalt say in thy heart, my power and my might and the might of my hand had gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth us the power to get wealth. See, everything that you got, the Father gave you the ability to get it. The Father gave you the mind to get through college. The Father protected your health so you can preserve your physicality for being an athlete. The Father allowed you to be seen before men as a great athlete. And the Father opened up that door and opened up that arena. But the Father wanted to use that life just the same way that you were striving for that. He wants to use that too. That is what it's to be. But we got to continuously hearken unto the voice of the Lord to do what he is instructing us to do. But now we done start hearkening to every other voice, and we are responding to every other voice, and it got us doing things that are totally against what the Father had said for us. Man, oh man, oh man. And then brothers don't want to come out until something bad happens. You know? You brothers could be using that influence and using that money in ways to impact the people's lives. But you know what? That God ain't got time for that. God ain't got time for that. Y'all trying to preserve, your Rolls Royces and your wealthy living and this and that and the other. See, and then you take advantage of the normal folks that's really pressed down, and you fuel all of these things, and you fuel all of these things from your standpoint. But when the killing start, it's not going to start where you at. It's going to start right there where the police are in the inner city. And I know what y'all saying. But ain't none of you suckers gonna run out there and start shooting the police. You can talk till you blue in the face, but you're not gonna run out there and do that. You can talk tough, and that's how we did in the streets. We was always surrounded by people that had mouth. Well, me, I was one, I'm just quiet one. I ain't got nothing to say because I don't waste my time like that. You understand what I'm saying? But you was always surrounded by people that was always talking what they was gonna do and doing this and following the crowd, and whatever the crowd do, they in. But soon as all hell break loose, them be the first ones gone. And many of our brothers and sisters gonna get caught up in this mess. Y'all gonna get caught up in this mess. Because them football players and them people like that's not accustomed to living this life because they have become a part of the other cultures, and then try to come back as though they really got the best interest of their people at heart. If they had the best interest of their people at heart, why ain't nobody start buying up these impoverished communities and putting our people to work? It's a small thing for a person with $100 million, you know what I'm saying? To go and buy up every church's chicken in the community, to buy up every little store in the community and put their people. It's a small thing for people with that kind of money to come through and rehab all of the houses in the community and rent them to their brothers and sisters where they can afford to do. It's a small thing to do that because this is what the white people been doing in the community for the long time, and all of our money goes to them. So don't come out there telling me about this or that or the other, and I'm going to take one knee because I'm on national TV. No, nigga, I don't want to hear that. What are you doing in the everyday life of the community? What kind of change are you? And I'm not saying that some of them are not doing them, but it's not enough. But the scriptures say, when you have eaten and you are full, and you have built your houses and you have gotten your money, you remember that it was me that gave you the power to get that wealth. And it is me that you're supposed to be listening to. And I can instruct you how to use it to affect change. And I can show you how to use it to where it will become a rod of correction for the back of your enemies. Man. But if you don't hearken, you don't want to hear what the men of God are telling you where the scripture is concerned. Say, you ain't blessed. I don't care how much money you got. And you're finding that out now. They finding that out right now. What is they going to do? Who cares? If all of the football players in the world walked off, you know what that mean? That mean, okay, you niggas just ain't got no job. Y'all ain't got no job now. You ain't got no means of support. That means you can't no longer afford the $1 million house that you live in, the $1 million cars that you drive. That means that you got to come back to where you first began. And guess what? How many of you think gonna go that far? You tell me. Who cares what Donald Trump said? Who cares what any of them said? Only thing we should be cared about is what the Father said. And that's our problem. We're not concerned with what the Father said. And that's why I say, you know what? You're going to be cursed in the city and you're going to be cursed in the suburb. Small man in the city, urban area, you got a curse on you. And wealthy football player or entertainer out there in Beverly Hills, you got a curse on you too. Because ain't nowhere you can go to get away from being who you are. Man, we got to start listening. We got to start listening because these people are baiting us in to some destruction. You've been baited in and you've been warned.